Hi everyone, quick announcement before you get into the show. We had another technical difficulty, kind of in the middle of the show. Cody's computer crashed, so we went from our good audio to our backup audio and then back to our good audio. So we apologize for the trouble, and hopefully everything will be back to normal next week. Now, on to the show. Hello and welcome to episode 54 of the Geek Games podcast. I am Sam Suvak alongside Cody Tetrick. Cody, how's it going?
It's going pretty well, Sam. Happy to be here. Talk about some video games. Got some exciting things to talk about this week.
Do we now?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. For myself, at least.
Well, I guess I'll wait to say if I'm pretty excited or not to talk about my video games. But one thing that I am excited about is Captain Marvel. We both went to see it this weekend. And to be completely honest, I went to see it twice this last weekend. I really liked it, Cody. Cody, what did you think about it?
So, hot take, going into the movie, did not care. I don't know, just none of the trailers really grabbed me for it, and I was just kind of like...
And do you have much of an affinity for Captain Marvel from the comic books? Or?
No, actually, I'm not a very big... Yeah. I don't like her at all, actually. Civil War II kind of ruined her for me.
Well, that's true. That was very unfortunate.
So yeah, I didn't have any, expectations. I was like, hey, most of the Marvel movies are good. At this point, I don't feel like we're going to get a bad one. But I walked away and I was, pleasantly shocked, how much I enjoyed it. So, a big thing for me in movies is I always have these moments... I told you guys this.
About your goosebumps? Is that what you're about to say?
I get goosebumps when a scene happens that I can show my kids one day. And so, for me, a big thing is, I want to be able to show my daughters, very empowering things. And there's a scene in this movie that I got the goosebumps. I got a little, choked up a little bit because I was like, man, I really can't wait to show my daughters this one day. And, that's just a big thing for me in movies. Anytime I see a movie, I think about that. And, yeah. And so, I liked it. It was really fun. Some good action, lots of comedy, and really hyped me up for the Avengers Endgame. And just a really good movie. I was pleasantly shocked. I was like, okay,
yeah. I really like Captain Marvel from the comics. Civil War II accepted, of course. But going into this movie, I didn't really know what to expect, but I knew I was gonna like it. And when they announced Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, I was like, oh, I don't know who she is. But she did a fantastic job. I really liked what she did. She just brought this fun, confident, just powerful persona to it. And it felt perfect. I was pleasantly surprised by a few things in the movie that I just never would have seen coming. And I love that they took things in that direction. There was one thing that I really wanted in the movie that I didn't think we would get, because I was like, no one's going to do that. And then they did it, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited right now. I loved the music, Cody, because
90s
really music,
good.
That was my high school music. And I'm just oh my god, everything is just such a blast from the past. So I had a really good time with that. Nick Fury, his 90s self was fantastic. Samuel L. Jackson really did a great job in this movie too. And I just had a blast. So I don't know, Coulson, because they kind of de-aged Samuel L. Jackson and it looked good. He looked great. But Coulson just never quite looked right in his de-aging. So that was weird.
I think he was the weakest part of the movie because it feels like he was just kind of there, they
just put him there to have him there.
Yeah, and then his line delivery just came off kind of weird at times.
Do you think there's any chance that they are setting something up where eventually we're going to find out that Coulson is actually a robot?
Well, no, because I've seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Some of that could have been he could be a really lifelike android robot.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
And there was the whole storyline in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where he died and they did this brain surgery, but I mean, maybe it's all an elaborate ploy. And he's actually a robot.
Hell of a long game that I don't
Did they do life model decoys?
They did.
In Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Like
Okay.
in one of the seasons.
Okay. Never mind. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyway, doesn't matter. We both had a good time at the movies. I really want to go see it again this weekend. Like, I can't wait. So here's this other thing that happens to me. When I go see a really good movie, and then when I leave and come home, I get really depressed because, like, the movie's over, and it's like, it was so good, and, like, now I just come back to regular life and just, like, stuff that's not as exciting as that movie was. So I was talking to Megs about this. I'm like, man, I don't know. I just feel like I need to, like, watch more Marvel movies. And she's like, yeah, you need to watch Winter Soldier. So I was like, that's a good idea. So then, like, I think Sunday night, I watched Winter Soldier. I'm like, man, this is such a good movie. And then immediately afterwards, I got depressed that movie was over. So it's just like a never-ending cycle. Do you have a problem with Winter Soldier?
No, Winter Soldier is my favorite Marvel movie. I was just very confused why you went from, man, Captain Marvel was a lot of fun. Let's kind of watch the kind of depressing Winter Soldier a little bit. But it's a good movie.
It's a good movie. I mean,
yeah, I like it for its tones.
I mean, next up, well, I mean, really, I want to watch all of the Avengers again before Endgame, but then I also want to watch Civil War again. It's like I really like that one a lot.
That's pretty much like Avengers.
It's like an Avengers movie.
Yeah,
I mean, it's really like, how is it not? But yeah. So yeah. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm really excited about these Marvel movies coming. I'm excited about Shazam. I'm excited about Dark Phoenix. It's like this latest trailer that they showed before Captain Marvel. I was like, man, I'm pumped now. So I have to say, like, they showed the trailer for Dumbo before Captain Marvel, like right before. That fucking thing made me cry. Because like I get real emotional about animals and stuff. And so, like, I was already choked up before the movie started. So then the second time I went to see it, I was like, I have to close my eyes through the whole Dumbo trailer because, like, I can't handle it. And, like, I was still hearing parts of it. I'm like, I just try not to think about it. But, man, like, trailers fucking get to me if they're well put together.
I thought the Dumbo trailer was really weird. I was like, okay.
It's fucking creepy when they have him in, like, clown face paint. It's like,
yeah.
What? I don't know.
I don't know, and like I honestly I couldn't tell you the last time I watched Dumbo. Like, had to be like a very young child, and like I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing a live action version of this one. Whatever. Strange. But yeah, like I don't know, it's been a while since I've been in the movies because like I skipped Spider-Verse and Aquaman, so like it's been a hot minute.
You made some mistakes there.
I made some mistakes, I know. I'm waiting for those. Like, I think they're out on like video on demand, so I need to watch them. But yeah, like I just was like, oh, I don't want to go to the movies, and then my sister was like, oh, let's go to Captain Marvel, and I was like, okay, I'll go, whatever.
Your sister has good taste.
She does. She really enjoyed it as well.
Except for, well, I guess this won't make sense until the post-credits scene, but her ideas about ghosts and seance, she's got bad ideas there, but you'll have to stay tuned to hear about that. Okay, but yeah, so okay. And then there was just one other thing that we had both watched recently, and that is the Umbrella Academy series on Netflix. And you watched this first, so what did...
So Umbrella Academy is based off a Dark Horse comic by Gerard Way, and I'm blanking on the artist's name. Fuck.
What an asshole, man.
I feel terrible.
I feel bad for you. I wouldn't have even known who wrote it, so I wouldn't have even gone there.
Something by... I want to say Gabrielle...
You go ahead and talk. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, so it's based on a comic book by them. It's been a very long time since I've read the first volume. I think there are 2 volumes out. And so I was like, oh, like I remember these characters, and like I kind of remember the storyline going on. So let's watch it. And like, boy, was I hooked from like episode 1. Like, I don't know, like the actors playing all the characters are really well, like it's really well acted. Did you get the name?
I believe it is Gabriel Ba. It's a B-A.
That's what I was going to say.
Over the A. So.
Okay, that's what I was going to say, but I wasn't sure. And so, yeah, and I think like, if you're going in thinking, oh, this is going to be a straight up, like, panel to scene depiction of the comic book, it's not that. Like, you can definitely tell, like, probably around, like, episode 4 or 5, they just shift completely, and, like, they're kind of telling their own story with these characters at that point. So they're just taking kind of stuff from it. But, like, it's still a very fun ride all the way through. Fucking end is such a cliffhanger, and, like I was like, I need to know more now. Like,
yeah.
And it's really fun. Like, there's time travel, there's romance, there's, like, crazy monsters. There's some, like, just family drama, and, like, it's just a lot of fun, like, all around. Like, what did you think of it, Sam?
I loved it. Like, yeah. I watched the first few episodes and I was hooked. Pretty much everything you said. The characters are great, and just, like, there's, like, no bad characters. Like, everyone is enjoyable and relatable, and it's always a good time when they're on screen. So, even, like, the more minor characters.
Yeah.
Were you going to say something
else? My favorite scene in the entire show, I think it's episode 1. One of the characters puts a record player on and plays I Think We're Alone Now by Tiffany. Yeah. And then they all start dancing, and, like, there's a shot
but, like, separately. They're all in, like, different parts of the house and just hearing music, and so they're all dancing by themselves. They're all dancing
by themselves, and then there's a shot of, like, they come away from the house, and you can see everyone in their own little room dancing. Yeah. I fucking love that shot. It's so good.
It was good. They did really cool stuff with music in this show as well. The first episode, I think it was the first episode, has this big fight scene to They Might Be Giants song, Istanbul.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, that's another song from, like, my high school years. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's so funny that they chose that. And it seemed to fit perfectly, even though you would never think that would be, like, a fight song. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. So, like, as I'll mention again later in this episode, I love time travel. So, like, anything that has to do with time travel, it always, like, gets me excited. I'm like, yeah, this is really cool. So yeah, that was good. Also, well, never mind, I won't say that, just because in case it's like, oh, it was a spoiler. But just one of the actors is real good. That's useless information, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just
I'm not sure if they've confirmed a season 2 yet.
They better. It's really
I
good.
hope they do. I don't know why they wouldn't. I feel like everyone is raving about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's a really good show. I definitely recommend watching it. I've been watching a lot of Netflix lately, and so, like, but I think I actually started watching that a second time with a friend, because she was like, oh, this sounds really interesting, and she finished it, and she's like, I love it too, so definitely watch Umbrella Academy if you can. Definitely. It's only 10 episodes too, and, like, they just fly by.
They fly by. So good. So speaking of time travel, I played a game this week that is all about time travel, really. So Quantum Break, it's a game by Remedy, and it is not kind of new to Xbox Game Pass. So, like, I'd heard about this game before, and, like, it kind of sounded interesting, but I was like, ah. So, but, you know, me and Game Pass, I'm like, okay, let's try this out. So, the premise of this game is there are these characters that have things happening in the game, and you're doing your stuff, right? But then also, like, I didn't even understand this until I got into it. They had, like, live action. I hesitate to even call them cutscenes, because, like, they're, like, episodes. They're, like, 20 or 30 minutes long.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And let's just get the bad stuff out of the way. The first thing that you need to know about this is when you download the game, you'll get to a point and it'll be like, oh, let's play this episode now. Let's try to stream it. Oh, it can't stream it anymore because, you know, servers, whatever. You can go download them, though, and you have to download this 75 gigabyte file that has all the video episodes. And that sucks because, I mean, once you reach that point, you kind of have to stop playing the game if you want to, like, watch the video in order. So that was my first night of playing. I got mad. I was like, man. But that's fine. It's fine once you get it. I just wish they would include it when you download the game, or, like, as soon as you start the game, it would pop up and tell you, hey, streaming doesn't work anymore. You should go download these videos. But yeah. Okay, so that pissed me off, but that's fine. But anyway, so premise of this game is you're playing as this character who is named Jack Joyce. He's played by Sean Ashmore, who you know as Iceman from the X-Men, maybe. And he gets called back to like his hometown to help. His best friend is asked for help. His best friend is doing some type of experiment, which you later find out has to do with time. And he just like desperately needs Jack to come help him for some reason. Now Jack's brother Will, also scientisty guy who does stuff, but they've had a falling out and haven't talked in years. And apparently Jack's been like hanging out in Thailand, like maybe getting into trouble. I don't know. There's been some stuff.
As you do, you know.
As you do, probably. So he comes back. Of course, this experiment goes wrong. Time gets fractured, and just weird stuff starts happening. So Jack has developed time-influenced abilities now. So, like, he can stop time. He can, like, sometimes rewind parts of time. He can do this, like, shield burst to, like, stop bullets from hitting him. You know, he's got some fun abilities. Also, turns out Jack's real handy with a gun. There was, like, a mention that, like, he'd handled a gun before in Thailand. Like, I don't know what he was doing. Like, it's kind of shady sounding. But it's a little weird that he's, like, so skilled with a gun. But, like, I guess part of it's supposed to be, like, his time abilities are letting him do this. Because, like, you can do, like, this time dodge and then slow down time to, like, shoot the enemies. So I guess that's why he's good with the gun. I don't know. It's weird. But, yeah, so, I mean, I don't think it's too much of a spoiler. Because this happens real close to the beginning. Like, you find out that his buddy, his name Paul, who was doing the experiment, whatever went real wrong, and, like, he's, like, 17 years older than he was when it started now, because he's been, like, doing some weird time stuff. I don't really fully understand all of what's happened yet, but, like, because it happened, like, they've known that it's going to happen, because I guess he went back in time, and they've been preparing for it. I don't know. Pretty much, the world's gonna end because of this time fracture, and so they've only got like a little bit of time to try to like set it straight, or I don't know. I haven't gotten too far yet, but I'm intrigued by the story because, like, you know, it sounds pretty cool. I'm playing on real easy mode, so like it has good aim assist, and I'm just like, you know, whatever, that's fine. The time abilities are fun, but I've kind of run into like I reached a point where I wasn't enjoying it as much because, like, it was having where you kind of have to do puzzly stuff to figure out, like, your navigation, like, how to get through this. Like, you have to, let me use this time ability to do this. And, like, they're really easy puzzles, Cody, but, like, for some reason, like, it's not clicking for me, and it's taking me too long to figure them out, and then I get mad. So I was kind of getting mad about that, and then I got to some of these puzzles where, like, you have to, like, rewind time to pull, like, this thing up that had fallen down, and then you have to run past it really fast and, like, get back before it, like, falls down and kills you. And, like, that part was getting me really frustrated. So I don't know. That's, like, where I am right now. I stopped last night when I got into my frustrated time. But, I don't know. We'll see if I can go back and get into it, because, like, I really liked the story, and I enjoyed the episode that I watched, which they've done a really good job of modeling the actors who are in the live action and making them look like themselves in the game. And fun fact, the buddy who fucked up the experiment, Paul, he is played by Aidan Gillen, I think is his name. He is Littlefinger in Game of Thrones.
Okay.
So,
I was going to say, his name sounds familiar.
Yeah, because, like, I saw him and I was like, he looks kind of familiar, but he's, like, kind of younger in his, in the video game. And then, like, his voice, I was like, it sounds familiar, but, like, he's got an American accent. And I was like, okay, like, I don't know. But then I looked him up, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And then the real weird thing is Jack's brother, Will, is played by Dominic Monaghan, I don't know how to say his last name, who played Charlie in Lost and was one of the hobbits in Lord of the Rings. I can't ever remember which one's Merry and which one's Pippin, but he was one of those. And, you know, he is British, but he's got this American accent that's real weird sounding. Like, you listen to him and I'm like, what's happening right now? But yeah, I've had an interesting time with it. Hopefully, maybe I'll give it another go and like get back into it, because I like what it's doing and I've had some fun with it. But you know, I just get easily frustrated. So
yeah. I've seen some gameplay from it, and like I was always like, oh, that seems kind of interesting, and like I have the Xbox, maybe I should give it a try. But I'm like, I'll just wait for Control at this point.
Yeah.
Especially after you just told me about this downloading an episode to watch thing. I was like,
man,
no,
I had to go like clear some stuff off the Xbox to make sure I had room to download it all. I was like, good God, 75 gigabytes? That's like a lot. But I'll be able to delete it as soon as I'm done. So, but yeah. If you got Game Pass, check it out. So, all right, Cody, what have you been playing?
So I had a really exciting time this past weekend.
That's what she said.
Okay.
That was a stretch. I don't know.
That's what he said. No, all right, let's stop there.
One of them might have said it.
Oh, all right. So it was my niece's birthday this past week. And so on last Saturday, we went to a laser tag place. Now, this laser tag place I haven't been in 8 years. I went there 8 years ago for another friend's birthday. And back then, it was just kind of like, there's a couple arcade games in there and like nothing like crazy. They have decked this place out since I was last there. So we got the laser tag stuff. I didn't get to do any of that this time. There was some weird pricing stuff they were doing because it was a birthday party and all that.
Okay.
And
I mean, I bet the kids would have kicked your ass in laser tag anyway. So
fuck no, those kids were not very good. I can say that. It's my niece.
If only they had motion controls.
Oh, she would murder everyone.
Yeah.
So you walk in, and I'm gonna skip one part for right now because that's gonna be like the main crux of what I talk about. And like, there's a sign that says like VR headsets. I'm like, what's that about? So
quick question. Was the VR headset made out of cardboard?
It was not.
All right, sounds good. Okay.
So they all got called back because like they were doing a birthday party, so like you get to go play laser tag 3 times, and so like they're like, oh, like if you want to go watch them, like go up these stairs, and like so we go up the stairs, and they have like a little lounge. But in the lounge are like, I want to say 10 different VR headset like booths where like you pay and like you pick a game and you can go play these VR games. I think the prices were a little bit much. I think I read something like $40 for 30 minutes of like whatever game you picked, and I was like, okay, that's not a lot of fun. No, thank you.
That does seem like a lot.
Yeah, and like, is it a good VR headset? Like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about an Oculus Rift? Or are we talking about like one of those like weird ones that you can like buy off places? But it was just kind of cool to see that like these VR booths are becoming a thing at places. And then, so I kind of like looked at that and like we went and watched her play laser tag. And then I came back down, and this is like the main thing I did for most of the day. So you may remember a while back on this podcast, we talked about a Halo arcade cabinet that they were coming out with. And I was like, man, this would be really cool to play. I'll probably never get to play it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I walked into this laser tag place. You step through the door. It is right in front of me. And I started to freak the fuck out.
Did you get goosebumps?
Oh, yeah. I got all over body goosebumps. I was like, holy shit, it's fucking happening. Like, I was like, I'm gonna have to go to like Houston, Texas to play one of these things. Nope, it was right there in front of me. I was so excited.
That's what she said.
All right, and so Chad and I grew up loving Halo together. Like Halo 2, Halo 3, that was our jam. And so like I showed it to him. Like, that's the thing that's happening. So the first time we did it, I hadn't paid. You buy these little cards, and like the cards come with like credits on them. And I think it was every swipe is 4 credits. And so like they got
stuff is pricey these days, man.
Yeah. So he had a card that had like 200 credits on it that like you got for doing the birthday party. So I was like, cool. So he was paying for it at first, and like the first time we sat down to play, we couldn't get through the first level. Like we were just dying so much.
Did it have difficulty settings, or is it just one difficulty setting?
It's just one difficulty. Combined with the fact that we couldn't get through the first level, these kids showed up, and this one little boy just put his arm around my brother Chad and was like, "You guys are doing great. We don't know these kids." And then the kid next to me is like, "You're doing a great job because you're a grown man." And I was like, I want to leave. Like,
were they being serious, or were they making fun of you?
They were like really young, so I feel like they were being serious,
Okay.
but like they were just kind of like being cutesy kids, and like we were just kind of like, let's leave. And so like we went away for like a while. I think we went back like an hour later, and this is when things got serious.
Okay.
We were like, we're not. I bought a card, and I was like, I paid like $20, and I got like 500 credits or something like that. And I was like, we're not leaving this station until we beat this game. And man, what did I have a blast. So it kind of it's telling somewhat of a story. Like you're not like a main character or anything. You're just kind of like you pick a character, because like at the end of every round there is like a scoreboard, like kills, like accuracy, like longest kill streak, things like that. And so like you're kind of like, it's like kind of competitive in a way.
Does it have like a physical gun, or does it have like controller joystick? Like
it's a gun. It's like almost like a turret.
Okay.
Like, you got your triggers.
Yep.
And you got a button for your grenade, and you got a button in the middle for reload. And so you're going through, and like you're fighting the Covenant, which is the alien race in Halo, and you're kind of just like trying to defend different bases, and like eventually the Flood show up, which is another alien race. And like throughout all of it, you are just like they're swapping guns on you, and like so you start out with an assault rifle, and then you pick up a plasma rifle, and then like they give you some sticky grenades instead of regular like frag grenades. They're like, oh, like go mount this like anti-air turret and take out all these like banshees that are flying at you, and like it's a lot of fun. I do think it's one of those games where it's kind of designed in a way that like after a while you just start to die a little bit quicker, so you pay them more credits and like all that, which I didn't mind. Like I was like cool with it. I was like, whatever.
Can you like earn free lives to help you like live longer, or is it just like no, it's all the same?
No, I was looking for that. I was like, oh, I feel like there should be health packs somewhere.
Yeah,
there was never health packs, so like you would finish one round, start the next round, and like already be half health. And I was like, oh, okay, that kind of stinks a little bit. And so we ended up going through, and there's 6 levels altogether. There's not a difficulty thing. I should just make a comment now. I was winning. Let's just say the young reflexes were in my advantage. The shooting felt really good. Like there were a few times where I felt like where I was aiming and like where the bullets were shooting were off a little bit, but that's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But I was having a blast. They do like Master Chief does show up a couple times. At one point, like you think you're about to die from an alien attack, and he shows up and like throws you a shotgun, and the shotgun's like full auto.
Nice.
And like I was having a fucking, I was like, this is like, let's go. Like I think I actually like legitimately screamed, "Let's go!" and just started shooting stuff. So that was fun. We got to the 5th level. The kids showed back up and started cheering us on again. Combined with the fact that we had been gone 45 minutes from my niece's birthday party, my brother was like, I need to leave or I'm going to get yelled at. So he left, like he died and left. And I finished this level with the most minuscule of health. Like I was like hanging on, and I was like, it's like, I could like start level 6 by myself. And I was like, no, like I want to finish this with my brother. Like we'll come back here and we'll finish level 6 together.
I thought you were gonna say you finished it with the kids. They helped you.
The kids on it. No, but like so they're like, oh, like you can keep playing and all that. And so like I was like turned to the kid next to me who's like been sitting next to me. I was like, hey man, do you want to play? And he's like, really? And like he turned to his dad. He's like, Dad, can I? And the dad was like, yeah, go for it. And like so let him play. It was a really cool experience because like It's just something I never thought I'd be able to play, like, unless I, like, went somewhere, like, out of state. Because, like, I think the way they worded the announcement, like, the way they worded it was, like, it'll be in select states and, like, select places. And I was like, okay, like, I'm either going to have to, like, go to a Dave & Buster's in New Orleans, or, like, I'm going to have to go to Texas, like, something like that. I was not expecting to walk into a random laser tag place near my house and, like, see it. Like, I was, like, blown away. And, like, they played some of the Halo theme songs, like, while you're going through stuff. I was like, I got a little goosebumpy at that. I was like, this is fucking it, man. Like, oh my God. So I had a blast with that. That was, like, the main, like, thing I ended up playing. And then we, after they did all their laser tag stuff, they all had, like, the cards with the credits on it. So they went to go earn some tickets and stuff. You've been to an arcade before, right, Sam?
No, never once.
Your sarcasm is so beautiful. So my favorite game in an arcade, because the only one we have around me for the longest time, was this place called Gaddy's Pizza, and so you go get pizza, and then you could go into the arcade.
Yeah.
I always referred to this game as the Wheel of Fortune game. It's not called the Wheel of Fortune game. I think the little board reminds me of Wheel of Fortune. It's called Cyclone. It's where this light spins in a circle, and if you hit it, the button, like wherever it lands, that's how many tickets you get. You're supposed to get the jackpot. I guess the ultimate goal.
That sounds like a rip-off kind of game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That was your favorite game? You like rip-offs?
I mean, it was fun. I liked it.
You like it more than like a skee ball or something?
Here's the thing. At Gaddy's Pizza, if you wanted to get fucking tickets for prizes, that was the game to play. Because you hit that jackpot. The jackpot was always like 1,000 tickets. Apparently at laser tag, it was not. It was only like 130 when I got there. But I got the jackpot.
Hey.
So
congrats.
A lot of those games I feel like nowadays are like a little rigged a little bit. Because there's the ones where like you spin the wheel, you pull the lever and it spins the wheel, and like it's on like a system where it's like, not this time, you're not getting 150 tickets. Yeah. But I played a couple of those just to like try to get some tickets, get some prizes for my niece. And I think a really cool one was my brother played. It was the Batman arcade machine, where you drove around in the Batmobile, and like you had like the Batmobile had turrets on it, which I guess is similar to how it is now, and like you pick different villains to fight. Like he was going through playing that, and it was like really cool to watch. So I was like, oh, this is interesting.
You fight them while you're driving?
You're like driving, and like you're taking out like bad guys who like represent them. So like you pick
like
Scarecrow.
You're driving over people. Pretty much
destroying their cars that they're in.
Okay.
Much. Yeah.
Okay.
They had a Guitar Hero station, and
nice.
like I was like, I really wanted to play that, but I never got a chance to. I was like, oh, that would be really cool. And then they had one machine, and it was a claw machine. I'm terrible at claw machines. Yeah. I think most people in the fucking world are bad at claw machines. There's like a top 5% people who are good at claw machines, and if you're one of them, please be my friend.
Me and some friends went through a period where we got pretty decent at the claw machine. Like we were getting stuff. So I've earned a thing or two from claw machines. So
this claw machine was special because it wasn't like stuffed animals or toys inside. They were little things of tickets. But here's the thing. I don't think they thought this went through too much because it was like a roll. So the claw would just hook under it. I was fucking taking their lunch money, Sam. I was scanning for 3 fucking credits, and I was getting like 750 tickets back. I was like, let's go. I only played it like twice. Got some tickets for my niece.
For your niece, in quotes there.
Yeah. I mean, I got a little dinosaur figure for myself, as you do. But by myself, I mean I gave it to someone else. But yeah, like, I don't know. It's been so long since I've been to an arcade because like the Gaddy's Pizza place was like the last one I really like went to, and I went to that like a year ago with my niece, and like they got rid of so many things. Like they got rid of the Cyclone machine and all that, and like so it's just nice to be back there again. And like it was just cool to see the VR stations. I'm not exactly like spry enough right now to be doing laser tag probably, but like I kind of wanted to get in there do some laser tag. But ultimately, like sitting there and doing the Halo arcade cabinet with my brother for like 45 minutes, and like just kind of like it was just like a little like taste of nostalgia mixed with like new, and like it was so much fun. I just had a fucking blast the entire time. Like such a great like experience, like something I'll never forget. But yeah, so I went to an arcade. It was a really like fun experience.
It would have been really cool if we had synced this up better, because last week I talked about arcade spirits, and it would have been really cool if you had been to an actual arcade the same week that I talked about the arcade spirits game. But that's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Hopefully you're hearing this and now it sounds better. Again, we had some technical difficulties and lost some audio there, but I think we're back. Hopefully we'll be good.
Hopefully we'll be good. Yeah.
I don't know. If this is the same audio, then too bad. Sucks for you guys. I don't know. Okay, so then, so you played some Halo shooter at the arcade. I also played some shooters at the house. It's just the one shooter. I was trying to make a good segue. It wasn't.
Yeah, you were getting there. I'm proud of you.
So this one's one of the PS Plus games is Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. And this is one that I've never played before, but I've had a lot of fun with Call of Duty Black Ops 4. So I was like, hey, let's try this. You made a face.
Very different games. I'm excited to hear this opinion.
Really? Okay. Well, I think the original Modern Warfare came out in like 2007 or something, and then the remaster came out in 2016. And I have no idea what the original game was like, okay? But I started up this remaster. Amazing. Okay. The remaster looks amazing. I started up, I'm like, this looks great. Going through like the training stuff, I'm like, this feels like every modern day shooter, like normal. Like it's got the current controls, like everything makes sense. Everything flows really well. And like, I started with the campaign and I was playing through it, and like the only problem I had really was like sometimes I would kind of get stuck on scenery a little bit, or like get stuck on other people and like kind of have to maneuver to get away from that. But everything else felt really smooth and it played really well. And I was like, this feels like a really great game. And then I went and played the multiplayer, and like I just did the team deathmatch because like it shows you all the different modes and like the percentage of people that are in each one, and there were not many people in any of the other modes. So it's like, okay, well, let's just do this team deathmatch then. And so I go in, and like it feels surprisingly like the multiplayer in Black Ops 4. I was like, just the way it goes, the way like the kill streaks are happening, like all of it just feels the same, but you know, not quite as good. But yeah, like I do think like in that game, in the multiplayer, I guess the time to kill seems faster, but also like it was just like if they saw you, like you were going down, like there was no coming back from it. And it took me, I had some rough timing, like trying to get used to it, to like get into the groove of this game, and like I was just like not doing much at first, but then I kind of started to get the hang of it, and like when we finished the first game, I was the best performer on our team, and nice. we lost real bad, okay, but I was like, and I can always tell like if we lose, but I'm like the best person on the team, like that pretty much explains it. We lost because I was the best person on the team. But
give
still,
yourself
like,
some credit, Sam. You're very good at shooting games. Come on.
Okay, but like my score on it was like, I'm thinking like 550. And I was like, I don't know if that's good or bad. I didn't actually look at the enemy scores. I was like, so then we played the next game. And then afterwards, I looked at the scores and like the good people were getting like 2,000. So I was like, okay, so 550's not that great. But I mean, I had fun with it. It felt like a modern competitive shooter. It's just like, you know, just not quite as like polished and smooth as like Black Ops 4, but I was still really impressed with it. And if you are not like, if you're like a kid who doesn't have money to buy like all the fancy new games and you're just like getting your free PS Plus games, I feel like this is a really good catch for you, because I mean, it's a good game. there were a decent number of players in like the team deathmatch, at least. Like I didn't have to wait long for a match for that. The other modes, you might have to wait longer, and possibly more people are going to start playing it as the month goes on, and they claim their games. But yeah, I had fun with it. I'm probably not going to go back and play it anymore because like Black Ops 4 is better. So like I can just go play the Black Ops 4 multiplayer. But the Modern Warfare, what it has going for it is the campaign, which, Black Ops 4 doesn't. And I played like 3 missions on it, I guess. And then like I just don't think I'm into like actual war combat mission video game type stuff. Like it's just not as... I was trying to figure out like what the difference is. Like, why am I not into this, but like I'm into like a Titanfall 2 campaign, I'm just like, that's... One of the main differences is like this one, you've got a squad of people, of NPCs that are with you, which can be good. Also, sometimes those fuckers just get in the way. I'm like, please, like, get out of my way and let me pass. And then like I always had to wait for them to open the doors. I'm like, why can't I just open the freaking door, okay? But, it's fun. It's just like, I'd rather play Titanfall 2 or Apex Legends or Black Ops 4 multiplayer. So I probably won't be going back to the campaign, but I'm glad I tried it and it was fun, and it's a pretty good game, so I'd recommend it.
All right, so Sam didn't tell that nearly as well, so that's good. Call of Duty 4 is one of the greatest games of all time.
Wait, Call of Duty 4?
Yes, that's what it was. Call of Duty 4.
Well, it's confusing because there's also Black Ops 4, and I'm just like, I don't know what you're saying. So Modern
Warfare, Call of Duty 4, same thing.
Okay.
Seriously, like one of my favorite games of all time. I remember losing so many hours in that game. The campaign is really good. The multiplayer is really good. There are like some things you can do to make the time to kill better for you. Like people shoot. There's a perk called Juggernaut. Gives you like extra health. But yeah, like I think that is a game that like for a long time, every other shooter, like that was the bar. Like it was that good. And I remember just so many hours lost in that game because like that wasn't my first Call of Duty game. It was actually like my third one, but like I went back to that one. That's how good it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna hop in. I definitely want to try. I want to get back into the game again. It was one of my favorites.
I'll play with you. But...
Yeah.
Also, I forgot to say the developers of this game went on to become Respawn, which made Titanfall 2, and so of course it feels good. So they'd make good games.
I get where you're coming from with the campaign about like sometimes it's something about the real life war thing.
Yeah.
I like that to an extent if it's done well, and I feel like Call of Duty 4 and like Modern Warfare 2 did it well. But with like, and Battlefield sometimes they're done well, but like sometimes the Battlefield ones I'm just like I just don't like the way this feels right now. Like but yeah, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Remastered, just amazing. Definitely, it's free. Definitely get it.
Yeah. Right. Well, since you said that, speaking of Battlefield 5, this week they just released the trailer for Firestorm, their Battle Royale, which is coming out, I believe, March 25th or 26th or 28th. Sometime that last week in March. I don't recall the date, but it's coming. It'll be soon. I don't know. So you didn't watch this trailer. I watched the trailer, and it looked really cool. And at the front of the trailer, it said game engine footage. And like, I didn't really understand what that meant. So, I mean, I guess it's saying that it's not like a true cinematic trailer. Like, it's like this is made from
the game, what
could be gameplay, but I don't believe that it is actual gameplay. It's just like, it's made the same way that gameplay footage would be made, but they made it more cinematic, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah, so it looked really cool. They, have the people look fantastic. Just the graphic quality of it looks amazing. They showed off the different vehicle type things. So they've got this little helicopter thing. They've got the water car that like goes in water or land. And then at the end, they have like just the hint of the big tank that's going to come out. But like, I kind of like, I would want to see some gameplay and like see actually what it's actually going to look like and how it's going to play. Because with most games like this, when they make their trailer, they make it look super exciting. It's like, oh yeah, there's just action nonstop. This is going to be amazing. But then like the game, you know how a Battle Royale is. There's so much time where you're just like going around by yourself, picking stuff up, and it's just like not action-y. So it'll just be interesting to see what it's like. The Firestorm is like literally like the storm of fire that keeps shrinking. And like there was this part where some soldier like kind of got caught in the fire and they come out running shooting and like they're still on fire a little bit, and it's like, oh, that's exciting. So like it'll be interesting to see how that works once you're in the real game. It looked like, I mean, these were like 4-person squads, so I don't know if it's going to have variations or if they're just going to have a 4-person squad, and like if they have the same kind of roles that you have just like in the regular Battlefield multiplayer. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. I'm definitely going to check it out, you know, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, you know me, I love my Apex Legends, but I'm open to new things, and I had a ton of fun with Battlefield 5. Obviously, like I mentioned previously, it was like my number 3 most played game of last year, which kind of surprised me. I'm like, I can't believe I played that much. But since I stopped playing it, like I haven't had the desire to go back and play it again. Like I've just been playing Black Ops 4 instead when I have that desire. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward to seeing it and trying it out. So, Cody, you don't have any interest in this?
I think I am just Battle Royale out. Like I think, you know, like I did my time. I put some time into Fortnite. I put some time into H1Z1 when that came to PS4. I put some time into Apex Legends. I think
Let me say for the record, I'm still very disappointed in you that you never tried Darwin Project, because it's different and it was fun and it would have been something interesting for you to check out. So yeah, like I like see this and I'm like, cool. I'm sure there are going to be people who like this, but like I just don't have any interest in playing that right now. Also, just like for something releasing in like less than 2 weeks, possibly. Not a lot of details from what I've read. This has already been delayed. So
yeah, it's already been delayed a lot. Like, because it was supposed to launch like it's like a month after the game launched, and then they're like, "Hey, no, it's gonna be a while."
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then like, I don't know. Part of me feels like it's kind of wrong to have a battle royale set in World War II. I don't know. Just kind of seems like there might be some fucked up shit there.
Well, I mean, I told you when this first came out that like I kind of had some problems with the multiplayer because technically some of us were playing as Nazis sometimes, and I'm just you know, they don't like necessarily call it that because they just say Axis and Allied.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but I know what it is, and it's just like it feels uncomfortable if you think about what you're doing there.
Where are the baddies? I don't know if you've ever seen that skit.
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
It's like these 2 German guys, and he's like, the one guy's like, they're talking about something, and like the one dude's like, you know, I've been noticing, like we have skulls like on our stuff, and like we shot those people. Oh, we the baddies, and like the other guy's like, oh, maybe we are, and like it's just funny. All right, sorry, derailed the entire thing. I mean, like the idea of using like a firestorm as the like kind of gas or storm is cool. It's probably a good thing they didn't call it the gas. Let's just throw that out there now. Real dark, sorry. Real dark joke, sorry.
Yeah.
Went with the firestorm, very smart choice. I'll probably end up looking at it, like just seeing what it's about, but like
you still have Battlefield 5?
I think.
I don't remember you trading that one in.
I don't remember trading it in.
Black Ops 4, but I don't know.
I think I may have kept that one. I'm not entirely
You kept it for
sure.
a while, at least.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, another Battle Royale game. Probably see them for at least another year before everyone's like, oh, let's stop doing those now.
There was something... Oh, no, never mind. All right. Speaking of a game where I was reading that they said that it's not going to have a Battle Royale mode, Cody, why don't you tell us about our next news story?
Oh, yeah. So, the makers of Left 4 Dead are coming out with a new game, their own IP, called Back 4 Blood. And it's in the same...
The 4 is the number 4. FYI.
Oh, yeah, the 4 is the number 4. And so... It's going to be in the same vein as Left 4 Dead. It's a 4-person co-op shooter, and I'm really excited for this. I love the Left 4 Dead series. I only really got to play Left 4 Dead 2 when it was on Xbox 360, and I had a blast with it. And so I read a little bit about it, but you seem like you read a little bit more than me. And yeah,
that was just the one part that stood out.
Okay. They were just like, they're like, okay, like, just so y'all know, like, this isn't a continuation of Left 4 Dead. Like, it's our own IP. Like, we want to do this on our own. We have a lot of interesting ideas. We may carry some stuff over from Left 4 Dead, but like, it's an entirely new thing. Like, don't expect us to be Left 4 Dead 3 because it's not that. And like, that's good that they're like setting expectations now. Like, they're not like letting it like be like, hey, we have this thing coming out, and everyone's like, oh, Back 4 Blood, like it's Left 4 Dead 3. Nope, yeah. Like it's our own thing. I'm excited for it. I do hope it does come to consoles. Do
you think it wouldn't?
I think it's a Steam thing, is it not? Or am I...
I don't know. Let me pull up this story real quick.
Okay.
If it's not, that's just weird.
Yeah.
So I missed out on Left 4 Dead. Like, I never got to play that. Oh, hello. Here's Aloy, everybody. She just hopped up to say hello. Oh, no, this article says it's coming to PS4, PC, and Xbox sweet. One. It does not have a release date yet. So... Okay. So that'll be cool. I like that it's going to have a campaign that is 4-person co-op. And then it's also going to have a PvP element. This kind of game, like, it sounds cool. And then there was the game, like, a couple years ago at E3 they announced called GTFO that looked similar. It was a co-op shooting zombies. And I thought that looked cool, and then we never heard anything about it. But then, like, games like that, kind of, for me, I'm just kind of like, what does this game bring that's new and better? And, like, why should I play that instead of just more Killing Floor 2? And, because, like, that's kind of like a horde mode thing. So I think the fact that this would have an actual campaign that you would play through makes it more interesting and makes it more something worth checking out rather than just like sticking with the same old thing. So yeah. I think it sounds cool.
I think like kind of the gameplay loop of Left 4 Dead was just how like randomly generated things were at times.
Okay.
Because like in Left 4 Dead, the point was like get from objective A to objective B, and you have objectives along the way, and like you could go through a section, and let's say like the first time you go through that section ever, you find a witch on that section. The witch was like this zombie who would like scream, and if she saw you, she would scream, and like more zombies would show up.
Did she have magical powers?
I mean, she screamed and zombies showed up, so sure.
Okay. I mean, I think zombies just hear things and they come. I don't think it's like super...
Okay.
That's fine.
But like, let's say the second time you play that map, the second time, instead of a witch being there, there's a boomer who just like appears out of nowhere, and the boomer is like this giant zombie who explodes and like can pretty much almost one-shot you. And like I think like that was kind of the gameplay loop of the Left 4 Dead games, was how like you never knew like how a section would change from game to game, and like you could bump up the difficulty and like stuff like that, and that's what kind of like kept me going back to that game and playing it a lot.
It sounds cool.
Then like it's just like one of those games like you just sit down with a group of friends and like you get a little drunk, you're just like joking around, like it's just a fun time to like it's I see where you're coming from with the Killing Floor 2 comparison, but like Killing Floor 2 like there's objectives, but like they're not the main point of the game usually.
Yeah,
like it's mainly horde. It's just horde. This is like get from objective A to objective B, like work together as a team and then deal with the zombies the best way you can.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah. And then like also in like Killing Floor, like you're buying guns from a station. This one it's like, oh, like maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get one of the good guns in this like area this one time, but that's not always the case. So it's like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I love these kind of games, and it's a cool thing to hear. Like that they're going to do their own IP because they don't think. I guess they kind of realize like Valve is not wanting to do a Left 4 Dead 3, so do what you got to do, you know?
Yeah.
And a cool fucking name, Back for Blood. Let's go.
I like it. All right. I think that's going to wrap us up for today's episode. Thanks for sticking with us through our maybe ups and downs with the sound.
Yeah.
So Cody's computer crashed in the middle of the episode. That's what happened, if we didn't say that before.
Right.
So, you know, these things happen. Actually, it's our luck that things happen during the podcast. We always have problems. But yeah. So if you would like to get in touch with us, you can email us at contact@geekheartgames.com. We're on Facebook and Twitter at geekheartgames. We've got live streams at twitch.tv/geekheartgames. And we've got video versions of this podcast, which you probably want to watch this one if you want to hear about that seance we mentioned before. That's at geekheartgames.com/YouTube. You can join our Discord at geekheartgames.com/Discord. And you can buy a shirt at geekheartgames.com/shirts. So I'm on... Oh, wait. If you'd like to be nice and give us a review on iTunes, we'd appreciate that. And I think that's all. So I'm on Twitter at SKSUVAK. Cody?
I am at Comic Book Cody.
I don't know if it just like there's like this pause and like the screen froze for just a second.
Wow.
It made it a real dramatic pause. Okay. Cody, take it away.
We're just two geeks who heart games. Do 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 do. Yeah.
So, are you podcasting with the door open this time?
Yeah. So I'm home alone for the next 2 weeks, 2 weekends. Parents are out of town.
Party at Cody's house.
I mean, apparently there's been some kind of partying going on. So I went to the mall with my sister last weekend to go pick up some shirts and stuff. I got a little Bulbasaur Funko Pop, and so we're driving back, and she decides to inform me that she thinks the house is haunted. And I was like, oh, really? How did you put this together? So she's like, oh, it's been happening for like a couple years. I just wasn't sure if you noticed it. And I was like, house is haunted for a couple years, and you're just deciding to tell me this. Great. So apparently it started with like, she used to have a desk next to her bed, and she had a keyboard and a computer, and at night, she would hear someone typing on the computer next to her. It would freak her out. I was like, okay. And then she's like, and so last weekend, the weekend we didn't have Wi-Fi, so we were doing 2 weekends ago. She's like, oh, I came home, and like my mom works from home.
Was the ghost gone because there's no Wi-Fi?
It was just like, no, fuck this place. I deserve high quality shit. So my mom was down the street at the library. She had to do emails at least for her work. And she's like, oh, so I came home and took a nap. I woke up, and I started hearing pill bottles shaking. And I was like, okay, that's kind of strange. He's like, yeah. And it's even more strange is that our mother does not keep pill bottles on her desk. Like, she doesn't like them because she doesn't want to, like, when I accidentally knock them over or anything.
Yeah.
And she, like, walked in there, and in a nice little neat row was, like, 3 to 4 pill bottles that were from my mom's bathroom, like her medicine cabinet. And, like, my sister is telling me this. I'm like, okay. And she's like, so I'm going to invite some friends over this weekend when mom and dad aren't home.
Are they going to do a seance?
And they're going to do a seance. And I looked her dead in the eyes.
You get the hell out of that house, man.
I was like, first off, I'm fine with the seance. You can't bring a Ouija board. I'm not having no demon portals in my house. So I figured if I leave the door open, maybe the ghost will come in. You'll see I am friendly. And when his, like, demon buddies show up for the seance, I will be the safe one. So I'm thinking ahead. Planning ahead.
Are you going to be at the house during the seance?
I'm thinking I'm going to roll out.
I don't think you should be there. I think it's a really bad idea. I don't think she should do it, period. Because, I mean, that's the thing. You, like, you say, hey, come over, and you open your house up to whatever, and then you get things that you didn't want. And it seems like a very bad idea.
that entire statement, Sam, was a real big like sexual innuendo. I feel inviting people over, you get things you don't want.
It's true. Yes.
STDs. Are demons STDs? You think?
That's probably how STDs. That's probably how they originated. Cody is what I was trying to say. Is they came from having sex with demons during a seance.
Gonorrhea is an ancient demon from back in the day. That makes a lot of sense.
Sounds right. It really does. So, yeah, I think it's a bad idea.
Yeah, I was like, okay. And so she was like, oh, can they come over Friday night to do it? And I was like, no. There are no seances happening Friday night. You can figure something else to do with your Friday night besides contacting spirits. So,
man,
it's going to be a fun time in the Tetrick household.
It's been nice knowing you. You guys are probably in for some bad times, would be my guess. So,
have you ever watched any of the Paranormal Activity movies?
I fucking hate the Paranormal Activity movies.
Oh,
yeah.
We talked about this.
It's just like, I don't know, something about it was just like, they just
I like the first
weren't
two.
entertaining to me.
After the first two, they were kind of like, all right, this is getting a little. Let's stop this real quick.
Yeah, I don't know. I like. So here's the thing. Like, I really liked The Conjuring. Like, I remember that I really liked it. Don't remember a single thing about the movie, other than I liked it. So it's weird, right? Like, did I really like it? If I can't remember it, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter.
Did I? So I saw The Nun, like, when it came out. That's part of the Conjuring universe, right?
I can't keep it all straight.
I think it's like Annabelle, it's Conjuring, Annabelle movies, and then The Nun, and then they're doing another one. It's a lot of fucking movies,
man. It's a lot of fucking movies, man.
Too much.
And then there's also Sinister and Insidious, and, like, I can't tell those two apart. I know I liked both of them, but, like, I don't recall anything about them. I don't know. It's weird.
I saw the first Sinister in theaters with my friend. It was an empty theater, and I screamed so loud at one point that the guy operating the camera behind us started to cry laughing. Like, you could hear him laughing at how, like, bad I freaked out. So, always a good one.
I should rewatch it, I guess.
The first Sinister is pretty good. I feel like the issue is, like, with sequels, they, like, take things too far.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we gotta go, like, extra hardcore to, like, actually get some scares going. And it's just like, just bring it down. You don't need to try that much. So, yeah. It's been a while since we talked horror movies.
Yeah, we're gonna have a new one soon.
Pet Sematary is coming out soon?
Yeah, but isn't there something else, some other horror movie coming out, like, pretty soon?
I feel like Pet Sematary is the next one. It's like April 4th or something like that.
Us? Is that the Jordan Peele one?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, that looks really good. Like, I want to go see that. I don't know when anything's coming out, so I never check the weather, and I never know when movies are coming out anymore. So those are the things I need to work on in my life, apparently. So
it's quite a list. The weather, movies, everything else, I'm doing all right at. You know.
Everything else can go fuck itself. So
that's the motto.
Cody, what if we play it back and there's, like, fucking ghosts on
there is like a little, like, weird kind of thing it's doing, and I was like, ooh, I kind of want Sam to, like, enhance and see if there's anybody in the background like, hello.
Do the seance.
Do the seance. Free me. I need you to. Can you edit the podcast tonight, please? I need to know.